Alright, so now we've got the sanding done on the Bondo, got everything kind of smoothed out, and just added a couple little touch-ups of Bondo around some places that I noticed still needed a couple things. And what I'm doing now is getting the line straight for the water line, because obviously the top sides area above the water line will have a different paint than the bottom. The bottom will have a, I'm going to put an epoxy paint on the bottom before we put our anti-fouling over top of that. So I'm getting the water line redone. On these Boston Whalers, they kind of have almost like a Batmobile shape to them. So what I've done is to draw some lines based on some measurements from when we had it out before. And I was trying to go by measurements before and drawing a pencil line with a straight edge, but obviously that doesn't work very well. I'll get a little closer here and see that it doesn't work very well when you're talking about water lines, because water lines are level. So what I ended up doing was taking this string that you see down here, taping it onto the measurement that I knew was good at the back, stretching it out and holding it to the mark that I knew was good on the front. So with these I was able to determine and then apply tape to a much straighter and more level water line. So I've got this side taped off. I've still got to tape off the stern where that water line will be. And I've got this side done now. And then I'll do the little zigzags on the front that kind of give it the Batmobile look underneath. And after that we'll be ready for some epoxy paint. And now it's time to mix up some epoxy that I'm going to use to seal the hull below the water line. And so I'm using West System 105 with 206 hardener, and get this thing sealed up. So the bottom side is all epoxied. Got a good layer on there. Now we can put a couple coats of anti-fouling bottom paint. And after that we'll mask that off and finish spraying the sides with a nice white 1-part polyurethane. And then she'll be about ready to put in the water. After that, of course, it'll be time to flip it over, get it back on the trailer, and then we'll start putting hardware back on. Of course, one of the next steps too is to address the motor. It runs, but it needs a little bit of work. So this Evinrude 40 horsepower, I think we found out that it's a 1975, and so it needs a tune-up, a little bit of work, maybe some metal work down here, get some little better trim tabs going on here, because obviously that's not very efficient how it is right now. So that'll be one of the next projects to get done too.